So good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. We're gonna do our sort of next episode in our series, if you want to call it that. And that is the five things we learned from Porto 1, Arsenal nil. That, let's just say how it is, absolute shit show out in Portugal. Surprised I didn't fall asleep during that game. I probably was about to. But yeah, we're going to talk about the five things that we did learn. But before we do, make sure you are like, sub, and sharing, and also turning on the notification bell so you get notified every time I make a video. Because YouTube, for whatever reason, makes it a pain to actually get the content out there, as seen by some of my statistics in my YouTube channel. It's been getting up recently, but I think we are what, 3 subs off 60. So let's try to get that going as quick as we can. The first thing we are going to talk about is the manager, and that's going to be the first thing that we learn. Well, not learn, but I think that's become definitely apparent. This guy has to be one of the most one-dimensional managers I've seen ever. Look, we saw the way the football was flowing against Liverpool, against West Ham, against Burnley, and we tried to play the exact same way, playing out the back, trying to beat Porto's first line of press, but it didn't do anything at all. Porto were just suffocating our centre backs. Obviously, made Declan Rice get that early yellow card, and we just couldn't get out of their press. And that press was the reason why we conceded that goal. Obviously, Martinelli doing some stupid pass, Declan Rice not closing the centre backs down, and then the goal just happens from there. But at the same time, obviously Arteta's management, not sorry, in-game management. That's gonna be the second thing we're going to talk about. So the second thing we learned is that this guy's in-game management is non-existent. You can see the way we're playing isn't working, and for that whole game, you do the same thing, only make one substitution, and that was Jorginho on for Leandro Trossard, which I personally wouldn't have taken him off, but if any of those front three players, including Kai Havertz, if you want to put him in there, front four, you could have took them out because they were both just as bad as each other. But at the same time, the way we were playing, the way that he just left it, didn't change it. He could have thought to himself, right, this controlled possession football is not working. Put Havertz up front, start lumping balls into him, use his height as an advantage, because we were doing that in set pieces. But the fact we're away from home, we need to get a decent result to take back to the Emirates, which we obviously haven't. That also probably cost us as well, because like I said, that Porto press was just, well, for them perfect, because they suffocated us and they gave us no options, and then Arteta done himself no favours at all with that. The third thing we've learned is that until we get a decent midfield and Thomas Partey's back, which, look, who knows at this point, he could be doing some other stuff, but we won't talk about that. That's for a whole different video in itself. But big games like this, Jorginho has to start in the midfield with Declan Rice, because you could see, like, from the get-go, our midfield was being completely run ragged, because the amount of attacks that Porto were doing through our middle, Rice, Odegaard, nowhere to be seen, losing the ball, and then one ball straight down the middle. Declan Rice can't really do much. He's on a yellow card from early. So it's up to the four defenders to deal with it, which at times they got skinned. But yeah, we need to definitely either hope Partey's back with the second leg or start Jorginho in his big games. Games like Newcastle on Saturday, you can probably go with the same midfield that started, because they'll probably be parking the bus and hoping for a draw like they did last time. So you can maybe get away with it. But yeah, we need to sort out this midfield issue quick if we're going to get anything from this from the home leg at the Emirates. The fourth thing we learned is that this proved how crap Arteta's European record is. People seem to be forgetting, because I've seen a lot of videos circulating the internet, that the people like that were saying that they don't really fear anyone apart from Man City and Madrid. They start putting Madrid combined 11s out. Fast forward to last night, we can't even beat Porto, and this ain't the first time that we've just been dogged in Europe. Lost to Lons last calendar year in the group stage. Olympiacos we lost to twice. Villarreal over two legs. There's one more, Sporting Lisbon last season, and ironically another Portuguese team. So it is clear to see this guy's European track record is pathetic. Like, let's be honest, most English teams in Europe. That's why, in my opinion, the Spanish football is the best, probably, brand of football in Europe. People say the Premier League's the best. Me personally, I don't get it, but look, they can think what they want. If Porto do knock us out, it's gonna just solidify my opinion on how crap English teams are in Europe. And we seem to forget in the top Champions League winner is Real Madrid, a Spanish team. The top Europa League winner, a Spanish team in Sevilla. And even Sevilla, at times, when we played them away from home at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez, were just, especially in the last sort of 10 minutes, I remember. But look, yeah, English teams, especially Arsenal in Europe, aren't the greatest, let's be honest. And the last thing we learned is how to play against Arsenal. Let's be honest, most teams, if you want to beat Arsenal and get a result, just park the bus. And that's exactly what they were doing at times. And even the team like Newcastle, who we played next, they got a draw against us last season by parking the bus. And if you cast your mind back to when we played Juve in not pre-season, but I guess returning from the World Cup, they sort of set the blueprint on how to beat Arsenal, and you just park the bus, don't give Martinelli or Saka space in behind, and you're basically going to get a result 9 times out of 10. And that's what teams are starting to do this season, hence why we haven't been that great. And obviously Arteta overthinking the tactics plays a part in that, but yeah, it's what it is. We've got Newcastle next, and I think the return leg's in 3 weeks' time in March, so we've got to hope we get a result in that. But look, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think. Can we go through the second? Can we beat Porto in the second leg to go through the quarters? Who knows? Me personally, we've got to see nearer the time in, and if we actually end up playing better against these type of teams. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Smash a like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and I'll see you lot in a bit.